Oh, yay, it's starting. Sweet. Oh, I was a little worried there for a minute. So I totally had everything set to go, and then it was like, oh, disconnected, reconnecting in 10 seconds. 10, 9, and I'm like, oh no. Please reconnect. Oh, so I hope it worked out. It's so hard to tell when it connects. Like, I'm watching it, but I can't hear myself because if I do that, then everything reverberates over and over on top of itself. Hey, May, you made it. Yay. As always, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here, to realize that we're live and to have a chance to join in. So my YouTube channel is Jen Evers, and this coincides with my Facebook group called Quality Crafts. And when Kathy gets in here, she will type that in the chat so you know exactly how that's spelt and how it looks. It sounds like the word quality, but it's actually spelt like koala, the bear, koala, a T, a capital T, the letter, and crafts. So let me say hello to people who are coming in. Janet made it. Hi, Janet. Veronica, Sharon, Kathy's here. Jennifer Marker, and her niece Haley. Hello, guys. Mayuki, and I know, right? Someone needs to go and get me some more Mountain Dew. I'm nearly out. I was trying to get my dinner washed down while I was posting all the reminders to let people know we are going live tonight. Dang. Oh, hey, Sandy. I did make it. However, I had a couple of technical difficulties, which always happens, and it just kind of makes me panic for a minute. Hello, Janet. She's so funny. She keep everything funny. Okay. I remembered to put the title too. Aren't you excited? It's called The Basics of Pocket Letters and More, because I'm going to try to cram everything I can into this 1 hour. But we're going to start out with the basics of pocket letters. This is what I use for my pocket letters. I'm going to show you exactly what mine looks like. These are literally for, well, it doesn't actually say, yeah, trading cards. It just says holds 270 trading cards. There's 9 pockets in my pages. And I believe these are literally made for baseball cards. And that's all there is to it. Let me pull one out. They're completely clear except for the little like holographic thing up at the top. I think that's just because their logo's on there. And then it's on here too, but not that it matters. And all of these squares are approximately 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. There, I think that's as far out as I can get. We can almost get the whole 9 in there. So most people today, I think, are coming on to get the basics of pocket letters because either you've made one and you weren't sure, or you've never made one. Maybe you can let me know in the comments where you are with this and how much information or how little, where should I start? Do I need to start at the very, very beginning, which I'm kind of doing now? Or do you want to know more about them? On Quality Crafts, underneath the last pocket letter challenge that we did, that might be deleted by now, so I may have saved that video somewhere. I found an awesome video done by this lady, and that's why I didn't look it up ahead of time. But if you want that link to her, she explains exactly what a pocket letter is, what you should put inside it, how you should put things inside it, and kind of the ethics behind it. Like, I just don't even know what to say about that because she was so extremely thorough. I should have probably watched it before I came on here. But I'm basically going to show you how to put one together. Oh, hey, Sadira. She says, so excited to catch you live. Love your videos. Thank you, sweetie. And Jerry, who else have I missed? Janice, Cindy Lou. Hey, guys, welcome. So pocket letter, 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then this is, of course, what they're going to look like. I did all these just in white for now, so you can see me filling this up. Now, the easiest way that I can think of to fill up all of these pockets is to grab yourself either a big packet of paper, which is something like this, where you know everything's going to definitely match. DCWV, and a lot of these kind of things from Michaels, they match. All the paper inside coincides in a color, specific color pattern. But I also think that it's easy to use these 6x6 albums too, because then you know you're safe. Everything that you cut out of here, no matter what you cut, is going to match the color scheme in the entire thing. I've also seen people do, was it 8.5 by 11? Let me just double check. And then they trim it down, of course. So it's really close. If we put it over the top here, it's super close. There's just a little bit extra to do an entire 8.5 by 11. So what they'll do is they'll decorate this entire sheet and then cut it. If it's one like big picture, it'll be kind of like puzzle pieces, really cool. You just cut them down and trim them to fit inside of here. I've never done that, but it's an awesome way to do it. If you're really creative and you're on the more advanced end of things, that would be really fun. But I like to take these, and so you just pick out a couple of pages that go together because they're all meant to match. And I'll just pull out one more, and then we're just going to chop these down to size. I'm going to take my handy dandy Fisker trimmers that I paid oodles and oodles of money for. I found it for $1.99 at Savers. How do you like that? Pretty cool. Savers, if you don't have it in your area, is kind of like a Goodwill or thrift store. So what did I say? 3.5 by 2.5. So I'm going to cut this 2.5. And then I'm going to cut it at 2.5. I'm doing it this way just because I want this stripy pattern to go up and down. And then I'm going to cut these both at 3.5, so I have 2 of them. 2.5 by 3.5. And then I've got extra little pieces so that I can take these pieces and make something else if I want. We're just going over the basics of pocket lettering, and right now I'm showing you how to use 6x6 paper pad to just cut these up by 2.5 by 3.5, and then just slide them in, and everything should match, and you don't have to work so hard at it. I get a lot of my paper too at Tuesday morning. I think this one is one right here. If you look, I think that's a Tuesday morning price tag. So most of them are $3. If you catch it at a Tuesday morning, you get a pack for $3. This is an Amy Tangerine. I am not big into being trendy on my paper. I get whatever I can get, and I don't worry about what year I had it from, or you know, how long I've had it, that kind of stuff. I don't really care if I use 20-year-old paper as long as I still like it. I am collecting information on what you guys want to see in videos, and it's not because I don't have ideas or can't find my own ideas. It's simply because you guys are going to be more willing to watch if I'm showing you something that helps you or solves a problem for you, or you just have never seen it before. It sounds fun, or you were afraid to try it until somebody went over it with you. That is the whole purpose why. And May says she'd like to see vellum cards. I think that would be a super fun one. So we will probably get to that at some point. That's another one that I heard. Mirroring. We may do a little mirroring tonight. Just depends on how long you guys want. How many questions you have on this? Because I have no idea where you guys want me to go with this. And how long it takes us to get through this. So the whole premise of this is to fill all 9 of these pockets, of course. And then that's the absolute basic part of it. And I'll show you a few other things that people put inside of it as well. After I get a few more of these in here. And then as you get more advanced and better at it, people will decorate this side as well as this side. A lot of hand stamping goes into it, a lot of handiwork, a lot of homemade embellishments. The sharing of all sorts of things goes into making one of these. And they become quite thick for the people who are really good at it and they know what they want to put in there. You can put paper clips, use all these little scraps that we created and make paper clips out of them and paper clip those to the side as well. Any kind of trims and things that you have. Washi tapes go inside of them. So you take your washi tape and you take like a piece of acetate and wind it around that as like a holder so that your washi tape can travel in a pocket. Super fun. There's lots of things you can do with these. And then of course the whole premise of it too, on top of that, is that it's a pocket letter. So in one of these pockets you should be putting a handwritten letter, you know, kind of like when we used to have pen pals around the world instead of pen pals around the world on Facebook. That sort of thing. So maybe I want to move some of my papers around and put this down here. Maybe I want to put this white one right in the middle, and that's where I would put my letter. Maybe I just want my letter to be right in the middle. And it's totally up to you. It really doesn't matter where you put them. And then, like I said, if you want a double-sided paper, if you have double-sided paper or you want to double-side it, you can put a whole nother row on this back side as well. Looks like I got a bunch of crumbs on here. Not quite clean. All right, cheers. If you have questions, make sure you put them in big capital letters so that I can see what you're talking about. Janet said, oh my gosh, we've got somebody in here from Greece. Hello. All these fast fun, people like the fast fun techniques. Janet said, can you please make a Christmas tree with washi tape? Like a flat Christmas tree that could go like in here. We could do that real quick. I wouldn't take any time at all. Here's a quick Christmas tree with washi tape. Go ahead and take one of these 2.5 by 3. Oops. Fold it at the top just in half, just enough to get a little crease at the top so you know where that half mark is. And then cut from this corner up to that point. Where's my little cutter? This would be so much easier on here. You can eyeball it up too if you want. So cut from that place where you found that was half down to that corner and then flip it over and do the same thing. Go from the point of the tree down to the edge of it. It's so hard for me to see on this one. Not real practiced with this one, but there you go. You've got a Christmas tree. And it's 2.5 by 3.5 because that's how I cut the card, so it will fit inside of your pocket letter pocket. I need to get a thing of washi and then we'll washi that up. So instead of going traditional on this tree, oh, here's how I keep my washi. I keep it in these art bins. It's a pretty cool way to keep them. I think I'm going to do it, I'm going to accent in gold. Oh, and you totally got a good gander at my PJ bottoms tonight. They are stripes. So I'm just going to start peeling some of this off. This is like making literally 9 mini cards at one time. Typically I get so OCD about these things that I never get one done. It takes me like 3 months to get one done. It's 2:15 after midnight. She just wants to stay awake to be with all of you guys. That's awesome. I just hope you don't have to work in the morning, because that would really stink. I'm taking strips of washi tape and I'm just winding it around the tree, and then when I get to the end, I'm just going to cut it off. I wish I knew how to say your name. It's XRISA. And I do not know how to pronounce that correctly. Hey, Gail. Jessica. Who else have I missed? It's nice to have you guys here. Thanks for joining me. I really, really like this polka dot washi. I think it's fantastic. Oh, that's cool. It's 1:15 a.m. in France, and they're making polymer clay. Holy Hannah. You guys stay up late. What time do you go to bed, Sandy? You go to bed at 1:15 a.m.? Oh, I would never make it to work, you guys. Never. I stop all activity at 8 p.m. and go to bed. That doesn't mean I'm out sleeping immediately. That's when I cuddle my big floofy cat, because that's just his schedule. He knows the schedule, and if I'm not in there around, 8ish, almost 9, he would be totally upset with me. And then I play a couple of games on my phone until I'm dead tired and can't keep my eyes open. And then I go to bed. Literally to sleep. I think just one more is going to make it. I'm almost out of that gold stuff. I use it enough. Oh, Mayuki, hello! She was awake for 23 hours straight. Didn't go to sleep till 8 a.m. today and could only sleep for 4 hours because it's so windy and super noisy outside. I couldn't even imagine. Could not even imagine that. I'm just dead to the world if I don't get at least 8 hours of sleep. Okay, last one. Now you could always cut this a little bit shorter and add on a little what you call it, stump, if you want, a little. But I'm not gonna on this one because I know this is gonna fit into my pocket. So there you have it. I'm gonna put it like make blue the background. There's my Christmas tree. So there's an example of what you can put in one. Let's see what else I have laying around here. I could give you an example of. I don't know. Oh, tags are a good one. So I know this is not exceptionally Christmas, and I didn't want it to be Christmas, but I've got these leftover tags. So if you've got leftover tags and embellishments and stuff, those are the type of things that you slide in there, right? There's another tag that says Santa rides again. But that's all you do. You just make up all kinds of little embellishment stuff and stick them in there. What else do I got? Not too much laying around today that would work with that. So you always want to make sure, in my opinion, that if you're trading with somebody on a pocket letter, you let them know whether you're beginner, advanced. Well, let's say beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I'd say that this, just putting some cut up paper in here and sliding in a couple of embellishments, this would be beginner. The intermediate, you would probably flip it over and you would do both sides and you would add a lot more stuff, like little baggies full of this kind of stuff and little pieces of acetate wound with washi tape. You could even put in little things like this, you know, little hearts, stickers and things that would fit. Anything that would fit is fair game. Brads, buttons, blings. Oh, I've even seen this. I've even seen this twine stuff wrapped around a really cute die cut spool and sent, and that's super cute too. And then advanced would be where you not only decorated the front and the back. Ooh, I like that idea. Janet said maybe a pack of gum. If you get too thick, then you're going to be paying more postage. Now, if you stay very beginner like this and you fold one end down up and one end down, this will fit in a business size envelope for one stamp. But if you go beyond this, you have to know that you're going to pay more postage, and you're going to maybe need a specialized envelope or a padded envelope or something to make sure it gets through. So, now an advanced person would do both sides, and they would even decorate like something on the outside and then connect it to one of these holes at the top, like right here. They would add on like a key ring, or what do I want to say, safety pin, jewelry binding, and then they would have like charms and things and ribbons hanging off the side, and then maybe a little tag with somebody's name on it, and just they go all out. I mean, if you look around on Pinterest, I'm sure you've seen some super advanced pocket letters. They can be outrageously gorgeous. It just depends on what you want. So this is very, very basic, and that's all you have to do. And if you do just paper and stick your little letter in one of the pockets and you fold it up, you can mail that in a business letter. So we've gone 20 minutes in. Do you guys want to see something besides pocket letters? Do you have some more yes, altered paper clips? Yep, exactly. These are totally fun to do. Kathy over at our page Quality Crafts is doing a pocket letter swap very shortly. Maybe she can put the details in the chat for you. I think it's going out sometime in January, but you have to sign up soon. What I mean by a letter is you physically get out paper and pen, and it could be any kind of stationery, any kind of paper, and you literally write someone a letter. Dear so-and-so, I'm so inspired by you. You are fantastic. You are the wind beneath my wings, blah, blah, blah. Merry Christmas, happy birthday. Super great Hanukkah, and you're my best friend. It doesn't matter what you write on it. That comes from your heart. And a lot of times, especially if anyone ever sends me a pocket letter, I never read the letter out loud, because I just have this feeling about me that anytime somebody pours their soul onto a piece of paper just for you, that it's just for you. It's love coming from their heart to yours, and that's just how I am. Other people don't care, but I really, if I write you a personal note, it's because I personally care about you, and I care about what I'm saying in that handwritten note. But that's what I mean by a letter in your pocket. So you would put your letter on here. You would fold it up. You would hopefully make it about the size of the pocket letter itself, the little pocket. Am I close? I'm kind of close. And then you would tuck it in any one of your pockets and send it off. Nope, I made it too big. But you get the gist. Let me see if I can fold this a little bit better. Yeah, pocket letters are kind of mysterious, but once you just kind of look at one, pull the stuff out and start creating, this is a project you could definitely make uniquely yours. Oh, see, folding it in half didn't work. It's just a little bit long. And you don't have to use lined paper. You can use any kind of paper you have. Okay, Okay, so Kathy says for Quality Crafts that our next pocket letter swap, the pocket letters will need to be in the mail by January 30th of this coming new year, 2017. She says, hey, that's my birthday. If you're putting in washi tape, about how much do you send? As much as you want. I can show you how I usually do it. I consider who I'm sending it to. Here's a piece of acetate. I have a little kind of half punched out thing on there. But I mostly trade things with card makers, so I keep that in mind. And so let's say I want to send them some of this. You really only need like 6 inches to cover a card from, you know, across the front or across from top to bottom. So I just keep that in mind. But I mean, if you put this on here, I'm trying to make it semi-straight, and then you know what's going to come back off of there. Oops, I totally ripped it. You just wrap it around. As many times as you think that you need to. 4, 5, 6, 10 times. I mean, I could wrap this whole roll if that's what I want to give away. It depends on how generous you are. Or how much you really want to hoard that roll of washi. Some of us are hoarders of washi. Not saying no names. And you know when I get silly like that and I say I ain't saying no names, I don't normally speak like that. But it's funny. So then I would just rip it off right there, and then I would send that in the pocket letter. I would probably do 1, 2, or 3 different rows and put it inside that pocket, you know, make it look pretty. And usually I try to color coordinate everything that I send so that they can use the stuff when they get it. And if it's not color coordinated, well, that becomes kind of an issue. It makes it less easier for them to use what you're giving them. There's a lot of people in Quality Crafts that are totally willing to help you. All you have to do is post your question on the page and people will come out of the woodwork to help you. It is a very friendly group. It's a non-commitment group and a non-drama group. You do not have to commit to the swaps or the challenges. You can lurk if you want, but you can totally. Mary C. Farrington just said that she's addicted to hoarding craft supplies. Made me giggle. You can totally just be a lurker if you want. Okay, I'm going to move on from this if that's okay with everyone else. If we've kind of done that. We're halfway through our live stream for tonight. And I want to talk briefly about the color wheel, just because somebody asked. Here's a color wheel that I found online. I'm sure I learned the color wheel at some point in my elementary, middle, or high school career. However, I don't really avidly use one. I'll tell you what I do know. Here's a bright color wheel. A lot of times things that go well together, and they've got them all listed right here, would be primaries, which is where all the colors come from. It's the first 3 primaries where you mix them together and get all the other colors. Analogous colors are like color families, so you know they're going to match because like everything from this side of the wheel is going to match because they're yellows and oranges. Everything that kind of goes this way, they'll kind of go together because they're grouped together. Anything that's like on this side all grouped together, those will go together because they're mostly greens, mostly yellows, mostly oranges, mostly blues, that kind of thing. Secondary colors, kind of the same thing as primary colors. I don't know if you can see that real well. Complementary colors are something that a lot of people do, and that just means it's the opposite side of the color wheel. So yellow goes really well with violet. Red goes really well with green, hence Christmas colors, right? Orange and blue, because they're opposites. They call those complementary colors. And then another thing, is it on here? Another thing that I read was that if you do a perfect, what do you call that? I had it in my brain right before I started. A triangle where every single side is the same. A unilateral triangle. Anyway, think of it this way so you don't have to do so much hard thinking. If there's three in the middle of the yellow and the red, then the next three you'd pick blue, and the next three you'd pick yellow, and the next three you'd pick red. So these three colors would go really well together: yellow, red, and blue. Now you can shift one. These three colors would go really well together: yellow, green, red, orange, and blue, violet. And if you keep moving like that, as long as there's three in between, those colors are supposed to go really well together. I'm sure that there are tons of people that know how to use a color wheel, like those who have been to art school and thing, much more efficiently than me. But that's a little bit of gist to it. Here are a couple of other things that I didn't know real well, so I wrote them down just for me. But if it's a tone of a color, that means it's a color plus they added gray to it to change the tone. If it's a shade of a color, think of it as I'm standing in the shade it's been darkened. That's a color that they've added black to. So if you want a different shade, you add a little black. And if you want to tint the color, that means that your color has white added to it to make it lighter or brighter. So that's about all I got to offer you there. I feel like, I don't know if I'm just not talking enough or if I didn't prepare enough for you guys or what, but I feel like this time is going not as fast as the last times. I do have one more thing that I do want to show you, and it's going to be flying by the seat of my pants, but it's super fun, and that is the couple of different ways that I have found that you can make a mirrored image. Kathy Dunahee says that she has a color wheel kind of a book that if anybody wants to purchase that, you can get a hold of Kathy Dunahee if you want to buy that. Maud said, please show how to stamp a mirror image of the stamp. I'm going to show you or explain to you two different ways. I'm not prepared, so give me some time to gather a couple of things. I'll give you something pretty to look at while I do that. Oh, I kind of did want to finish this card for you guys too. Does anyone remember this card that we started? Who just jumped in? Crystal? You didn't miss too much, Crystal. We did a little bit on the color wheel, how to find colors that match or go well together. And as long as I'm going to go grab I'm going to grab another sheet of acetate. Here's the pocket letter that we went over, just the basics, nothing fancy. You can go just crazy with these kind of things. I'm also looking for another stamp set in case I'm gone for a while. Not sure where I put it. Squeeze back in here. What did I miss? I'm just going to slice off a new piece of acetate because my other one was getting pretty old and beat up. I really expected the time to go so much faster, so I didn't really prepare this one for you guys because I always run out of time and I always have 50 million things going on. And this time we just totally have time to do this. I'm going to use this one. Here's a made it stamp, and the snowman is tilting this way. Well, what if I want him to be tilting the other way? Let's try that one. So here's a really super simple way. I need a piece of paper. The other one is a lot more complicated, and you have to have a MISTI or some kind of a tool like a MISTI to make it work. But for this one, all you need is your paper, your stamp, and your acetate, and I'm going to put this one on a block. And I believe you can do this with just black ink, or it would turn out even better if you used embossing powder, but I'm going to show you that in just a second. So let me pick out, I'm just going to use Memento black ink. Just making sure that we're all cleared here. Sometimes it gets blurry. And you ink up, and here's the reason why you want to use a restamper, if you have one, is because if you don't get enough ink on it and you want to re-ink it, you can. But doing it this way by hand is really hard to get your ink re-inked without bumping the image. So we're going to put that right without moving it, and I think I just twisted mine. Huh, I did. Flip it over and give it a rub. That's supposed to work. And it does quite well, except for my ink stinks. So let's try it again. You can always take, where's my baby wipe? You can always take a baby wipe and wipe that right back off, especially if you didn't use StazOn. If you do use StazOn, alcohol takes StazOn off. So here's another idea. If you don't have a MISTI or something to redo it with, make sure your stamp is really good and make sure that your ink is really juicy. I'm going to attempt to use this handmade one that I did, and I know a few of you guys who are watching have made this as well. I'm just going to move these off to the side. Whoop. Put my acetate in here, in my snowman. Okay. This is the idea of getting it re-inked and re-inked would be that you put your ink on it. I'm going to use these just so that my acetate doesn't swing around. The whole point of it is that things don't move, because otherwise then you get a funky double image, and you don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it down on there. And I'm still not happy with how much ink is on there, so I'm going to stamp it again. Oh, see, now I moved it again. I moved it. So sorry, guys. This is really turning out cruddy for you. My apologies. Yeah, it's swinging. I'm going to show you the other way. If you have a steady hand and you keep things in place better than I can, it'll turn out so much better for you. Probably didn't pick a very good one to go with here. But at least you get the idea. So if you have this stuff at home, you can play around with it. But here's the one that I really want to try, because I've never done this other one. put it on the block. This is foolproof, especially if you can do embossing. I'm going to do black. We're going to use the back side of that. Better put my little magnet away or I'll never find it in a million years. Instead of using a regular ink, this is why I say it's foolproof, you go ahead and use a Versamark pad. I know this one's really super juicy, so I'm going to go ahead and get this whole thing really super juicy, and then I'm going to set it on this acetate and hopefully not move it at all. It should stick to it. And then from my acetate, I don't know if, can you see that? I think you barely can. I'm going to push that down. Oh, I still had, oh, look at that. It took off some of the black ink. Now you can really see it. Okay, that should stay wet because of the Versamark, and then you dump your powder on it. And if you don't use your powder pail, you end up with sticky powder all over. And I use a brush to get rid of that. But we did end up with it looking pretty darn good. Now I'm going to show you the way to fix that up. If you're not happy with that, if you have a perfectionist bone in your body, you go ahead and heat set it like that. And then you see those little pieces about the holly that didn't quite go. And a lot of the other, all of the other stuff looks pretty good. Find yourself a wet marker. Like, where did I put mine? Like a jelly pen. Like I have this white one. I showed this in the last one too, I'm almost positive. Signal Uniball white gel pen. Go over, get your powder out, and go over the spots that didn't go in well. Let me just buzz you in here. Okay, I'm going to go over the little spots there that I thought didn't look quite right. And then while that gel pen is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and, there is such a thing as a Versamark pen. I don't have one. I'm going over another spot. So if you want to just fix the stuff like that, you totally can. So now you can see the powder. I'm really far away. The powder stuck right there. Come on, camera. See it? Around the, well, I'm going to go ahead and emboss the little holly berries again. I'm going to move my powder out of the way, otherwise we're going to have black everywhere. I'm going to redo the holly berries where I added the powder. And they are noticeably more closed than they were before. Maybe if I get a little further away. There we go. So you can do that to fix off some of the stuff that the teeny tiny things. And make sure that you're using your embossing buddy. Totally had mine sitting here and didn't bother using it. But it'll make a big difference because these embossing buddies are the reason, see all these little flecks, when you don't want all these flecks all over the place. But now if I take that little snowman guy, and I think I'm just going to use, I'm going to go back to the black ink, the Memento ink. I'm just going to stamp him, even though I know he probably won't stamp the best with this. I just don't know if it's my surface or what. I did not season this stamp either. I could talk to you about that if you want. And I put him near the other one. I'm just going to push right on the bottom here. Because it wouldn't do the middle of his face, I picked this very carefully off the side of the table, and I'm rubbing the middle of the stamp. And that way, it got the whole face. And now we've got the snowman going this way and the snowman inverted on the other side, or mirrored. Now this is 10 times easier. Trust me, 10 times easier if you have a Stampaholic or a Misty. But if you don't need an image that's totally perfect, like if you're doing the image of those trees, and I would show you, but I don't have that tree stamp handy. I'm sure I have one kind of like it. You want the mirrored trees in the water. That's all you need is stamp your trees on top of your acetate. And I got dirt all over this. And then after you've, inked up your water or whatever that you have, that your trees are kind of be mirrored in, then you just take that acetate and you flip it over on top of your water or whatever, and you give it a good rub, and it comes off looking, not perfect. So it's great because in the water it's not going to be starkly vivid, right? So it's an excellent way to get that look. Oh, Janet, thanks for the reminder. The winner from the last feed. Dun da da da. Jamie Hunt. Did Jamie come today? Is she here? Need not be present to win. I haven't been watching the chat, guys. I don't know if she's here, but I'm assuming it's a she because I have an identical twin sister and her name is Jamie and it's spelled Jamie. So I am hoping that Jamie Hunt lets me know, because there are so many Jamie Hunts on Facebook. I wasn't sure if I got the right one. I think I did, but I'm not positive. No, she's not around. Shucks, that's okay. She still wins. You don't have to be present to win. People are busy, especially on weeknights, and life is chronic, so you just never know what's going to happen. Okie dokie then. Should we go through what we did today? What time is it? Oh, we got 10 minutes. We went over, I'm going to just move this card out of the way. I want to use my glue gun to put him together, so he's just going to have to wait. Sorry, guy. You're just going to have to wait. We went over the basics of, where's my, oh. Pocket letter making. We also went over briefly, sort of kinda, how to use a color wheel if you don't know how to make things match. So you either want to stay analogous and stay in a family where all the colors are real similar, or you want to do like opposites, which are actually called complementary, and go directly across the color wheel, and those go well together. And then they have, secondary, intermediate, all these other ones too, but those are the basic ones. And then we went over a little bit of mirroring. And here is a good little mirrored guy. Now these would look a lot more exact if I would have done this one in the black embossing powder as well. But as you can tell, it works pretty darn good. The pocket letter inserts are 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And they all are about this shape. They are, I need a bigger marker. They're little rectangles, and across this way, they are 2.5 inches. And up and down vertically this way, they are 3.5 inches. Okay. Yep, same as ATCs. Good point, Heidi. Same as an ATC. An ATC is an artist trading card, exactly the same size. They're little handmade works of art, so you could take this and maybe do a little doodle on it. Like, oh, I've got some time, so I'm just going to make a doodle here. There's the center. Here's my flower. And I'm just going to color this in. Suppose you can't really see what I'm doing, can you? I'm making a really quick ATC. There we go. They can be stamped, they can be hand drawn, they can be glued, they can be multimedia, they can be more than one layer. One thing I do like to tell people about ATCs is that we're always meant to be traded and not sold. So if you see people trying to sell ATCs, and I'm not talking about little people who, make a living out of selling, mini canvases and things like that, but if it's a true ATC, you would do something fun on it. And then on the back, you would put all of your information. And I usually like to stick one of my address stickers on it because that's a lot quicker. And then you would trade it with somebody. They're lots of fun. I've got a whole ton of them. If you want to take some time next time on one of our other live feeds, I'd be happy to show you the couple hundred that I have. A lot of them are ones that I made, but that's because I haven't really traded all that many of them. But there you go, an ATC card. I'm just going to slip that right into my pocket letter. There you go, and another idea for your pocket letters. Oop, let's back out here so we can see what we've done, what we've accomplished. So where are we at? We're almost up to an hour. So if you guys have any last minute questions or last minute suggestions, I would be totally loving to hear that right now. Also, if you want to know how to make one of these stamping tools, I'm not allowed to call it a mini Misty because it's not a Misty and I'm respecting the person who created it. This is a stamping tool, a DIY stamping tool, and it's travel size. I have a video on my channel that shows you how to make this. If you want to try one out, or like if you want to buy the Misty but you're not sure if you use it, you want to try out this thing beforehand to make sure that, yeah, that's something I think I really would use, then you can make one of these. Koala Tea Crafts is having the swap of the pocket letters. Pocket letters are going to be going out not until January 30th of 2017. So Kathy, can you tell us when do they have to be signed up by if they want to join that pocket letter swap on Koala Tea Crafts? If they're not going out until January 30th, when do they have? If you guys don't know, Kathy Dunahee is my right-hand lady. She runs all the stuff at Koala Tea Crafts. I tried to jump in on the challenges, but she runs all the swaps for sure. And she sends out all the birthday cards. So if your name is in the birthday file, you'll get a birthday card from us. And so she is the go-to gal if you want to know about swaps. Not that I don't know a little bit about them and how they work on my own page, or my own group, but she's the one that runs them and I trust her explicitly with all of that. Oh, thanks, Barb. She said she'd love to see her ATCs. I will put that down for an idea for one of the next ones. So if we have extra time or whatever, I can always pull those out. I will make a note. Do you also want to know how to make them or maybe watch me make a few? Let me know. Okay, Kathy's going to post a file by Monday. What would that be? By Monday, January 5th. So a week after Monday. I'm not sure what you mean. She says, I will post a file by Monday, so a week after Monday. Means they have to be, oh, so you get from December 5th, Monday, December 5th to the following Monday. Those 7 days to sign up if you want. Okay, and Heidi says she wants to see ATCs, so I can squeeze that in on one of the next live feeds. That'd be awesome. Super much fun. I think I figured it out, Kathy. Sorry. I get a little dim when the camera's on me sometimes. And we can make some ATCs, sure. And then I got a couple of ideas. Somebody wanted to see vellum cards. And then also, if I get my act together, maybe we'll do some more of the, actually I might just make a video on the mirroring, if that might work. I'll do a video on the mirroring that shows you a little bit more explicitly how that's done instead of how I did it here today. Yes, a demo on the ATC, super. Oh, thanks, Nancy. She just sent a request to join the group. That's awesome. We'd be happy to have you. I'm almost out of Diet Mountain Dew, so this live stream must be coming to an end. I'm catching up on the feed, so if any of you guys got to head out or click off if you're watching this afterwards. I'm going to put my block away while I'm waiting. Heidi would like to see a quickie video on the pillow envelopes. Oh, I can do that. Pillow envelopes. Let me make a note. We did pillow envelopes as a little kind of extra. When was that? Last week? I can't remember. Oops. Pillow, what do you call those? Pillow boxes? Yeah, pillow boxes for a video. And the mirroring. But ATCs for the next live stream. And vellum cards. I have about 3 minutes. You want to see the... I could do that. Okay, I'll do that real quick before we go. I'll show you how to make a very quick pillow card. If all you have are like some scraps laying around. I'm literally going to do this without the plate this time, if you guys saw it with the plate before. Let's see what I have laying around here. Oh, that one's scored. That's not going to work. Oh, but I have this one. So this is how you do it. I need my gun. Put some glue on one side of it. And then you make it a circle and attach it together on that end. And then that will be the back side, and then you will smash it down. Now, if you have a small plate or a small circle that would fit as wide as this, see, I don't have my plate I don't have a plate in here with me today. Maybe a tape thing. See, my tape's not big enough because it has to touch both of these sides. I don't have a circle big enough, or a plate. She used a plate. But I'm going to show you how you can do this without a plate. Where's my tool? If you don't have this tool, you go ahead and use the blunt end of a pen, or the blunt end of a spoon or a fork, or a bone folder, or a ruler, whatever you have. And imagine, let me bring you in just a tad. Because we got like 1 minute left. Oh, that's a little too far. Too far, Jen, too far. Okay. Imagine there's a circle here. Okay? But I want mine, I don't want my whole plate to be over the top. I just want a little bit of the plate to be over the top here. So do you see how I'm kind of drawing a little bit of the side of a circle here? And I'm going back and forth until you have a chance to just look and see what I'm doing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool and I'm literally going to press down, making a score mark there from one edge to the other, and hopefully that'll give a little bit of a mark on the other side. I don't see it, but right where that is at the top, if you bend it, you can see the bend on the other side, and that's going to be the top of your other side circle, and then you're just going to make that kind of a rounded, like a little hill, and you just keep doing it until it's engraved in there, and then you do the same on the other side. Just decide about how far up you want your middle to be. You can always take a ruler and mark it if you want, and then go over it a couple of times. Remember to bend it right where that bend is so that you can see where the middle should be on the opposite side, and then make your little hill on that side as well. It's not perfect. You might not even be able to see it all that well, but then all we're going to do is we're going to just open this up and we're going to press these in and follow that line. See how that came in? And then press in on the other side. And it should come together at the top a little bit. And then do the other side. Follow that line that you made. And the place where I learned it too said that you could do this without even using this tool at all. But then that's it. You got a little pillow for a gift. And if you want this to stay, tightly closed, then what she did was wrap a ribbon or a piece of twine around the center to make it stay completely closed. But that was just a little piece of paper I had laying on the side. I did not plan that. That's something that you can do anytime with any size paper that you have. I was so stoked when I saw that lady make it with a plate. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You don't have to go out and buy a tool to make a pillow box. Alright, we're at 7:02, so that's the end of our live stream. If you have any... Oh yes, last week during the marathon stream, we did a stream for like 4 hours. It was so much fun. I just couldn't say no. I couldn't leave. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the box for McDonald's apple pie. Exactly, Barbara. Exactly. Alright, I think we're going to wrap this up for today. I'm really glad that you guys all showed up and hung out with me on a weeknight when I know you could be doing something else or be hanging out with your family. It means a lot to me. And you know what I'm going to say, right? Heidi likes the pocket so much that she's making one for all of her gifts. That's amazing. I can't wait to see you guys next video. Bye-bye.